Hey, geometry students, I thought I would go over the exit slip, the formative, if you will, from last week from May 1st, 5-1, to kind of clear up some mistakes that you had on these. So you're determining whether they are parallel. These two lines are parallel, perpendicular, neither. Parallel, remember, the slopes are the same. Perpendicular, they are opposite reciprocal, and neither means they're neither of those. So let's look at AB first. Okay, so with AB, it looks like, and it doesn't matter how you subtract your y's or your x's, just as long as it's the same for both of them. So what I did was I took 5 minus a negative 11 over 6 minus a negative 2, so that becomes addition there. So that's going to be 16 over 8, which is 2. And then for DF, what I did was I took 8 minus a negative 10, and then I took 2 minus a negative 7. Those become plus signs. That's 18 over 9, which is 2. So these are parallel. The slopes are the same. Okay, number 2 then, for this one, for AB, I took, this time around I took 6 minus a negative 9. And then a negative 1 minus 2. So 6 minus negative 9, that would be 15. And then a negative 1 minus 2, which is a negative 3. So that ends up being a negative 5. And then for this one, for DF, I ended up doing 2 minus a negative 1. And then 5 minus a negative 10. So that becomes 3. And then 5 plus 10 is 15. 3 over 15 is 1/5. Notice these are opposite reciprocals of each other. So opposite reciprocal means that one is negative and one is positive, and then this is technically 5 over 1. So the reciprocal of 5 over 1 is 1 over 5. So these two are perpendicular. And the third one, determine if the lines are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. You're looking at the slopes. So this one right here, your slope is negative 3/2. Because remember, we're looking at y equals mx plus b. This one we have to get it in this form, y equals mx plus b. So I'm going to subtract the 3x over, and then I'm going to divide by 2 on both sides. So a negative 3/2 is my slope. So it looks like these are parallel. And then number 4, write the equation of the line that passes through 4, 7 is perpendicular to y equals 2/3 x minus 1. Well, we got to look at the slope here. The slope is 2/3, and since it's perpendicular, that's your opposite reciprocal. So m equals a negative 3/2. This is your x, and this is your y. So we're going to plug it into the y equals mx plus b. So it looks like we're going to have 7 equals a negative 3/2 times 4 plus b. And all I did was I just plugged these in. I plugged 4 in for x, 7 in for y, and then negative 3/2 in for my m. Now let's go ahead and solve for b because that's what we need. So it looks like we have 7 equals. This is going to be a negative 12 divided by 2, so that's going to be a negative 6. So let's go ahead and add 6 to both sides. B is going to equal 13. So your final answer for that equation that is perpendicular is y equals a negative 3/2 x plus 13. That would be your final answer. And then the final one, number 5. We have parallel. We want to write a parallel line. So again, we're looking at that slope, which is just a negative 3. The x is 2, the y is 1, so we're going to plug it into y equals mx plus b to solve for that. So it looks like we're going to get 1 equals a negative 3 times 2 plus b. 1 equals a negative 6 plus b. Add the 6 over. we're going to get 7 equals b. So your final answer should be y equals a negative 3x plus 7. So again, that was parallel, so the slope is the same, whereas on this one, this was an opposite reciprocal because it was perpendicular. So hopefully you're seeing that difference there. Please email me with any questions that you may have. I miss all of you so much, and yeah, hope to hear from you soon. See you later.